It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS.
Guten Morgen, as they say in Germany. How about that?
All right.
Yeah, it's time for the morning show, everybody. Guten Morgen. Okay, then. Here's your top 5 at 6. I don't know if 6 is 6, but it sounds like it should be. Let's do it. Your top 5 at 6 to kick off a Tuesday. We all know what pit vipers are. They're snakes, and they bite you, and you die, and they suck. But pit diapers? This is a new thing. Liquid Death. Liquid Death, the water brand, has has unrolled, has unveiled in a collaboration with Depend, a pit diaper, an adult incontinence product for $75. The significance of this particular adult diaper is it's specifically for concert goers. It lets you sit in the mosh pit and stay in the mosh pit or the front row. Basically, you don't have to worry about bathroom breaks. You need to take a leak. You don't want to miss a moment of the show. Guess what? If you're wearing the pit diaper, you're good to go. And all of this on the heels of an incident at a concert in San Francisco last month. Sabrina Carpenter is a young, big, now hugely famous pop star. And there was a video that went viral. I just had to Google it. There's a video that went viral of a woman in the middle of a crowd just urinating on the floor in the middle of her show. And so I guess this is just great timing because now Liquid Death is like, hey, man, don't let this be you. Buy our pit diaper, adult diaper. And it says it's designed to absorb, quote, recycled Liquid Death water. That would be your urine.
No, they're clever, aren't they?
It's promising to keep fans dry and comfortable with leak-proof technology and odor-neutralizing materials. Okay. Oh, by the way, it doesn't look like a regular Depends. It's black. It looks like black leather. It's actually pleather. There are little metal studs and chains on it. And I'm just going to say it now without judgment, but just a straight shooting from the hip. This is how I feel. If you go buy one of these and wear it to a concert, just walk into the ocean.
Yeah. What about work? What about if you wear it to work, say in the morning for a morning show or something?
Totally different situation. Entirely different set of parameters.
Go change your diaper, baby.
Yeah.
Whole different set of protocols, and I totally get that. You know, we got to sit here and yap at each other for 4 hours. If you're at a concert, I mean, I don't know. Call me crazy, but did I mention that the pit diaper sold out its first run already? Immediately sell out.
I mean, I'm getting a pair if I get a chance. I mean, if someone gifts them to me, I don't want them, but Christmas just around this would come in handy for so many situations. I'm just thinking, for the long commute into work this morning, but I've been pissing at concerts on the main floor for decades. I mean, just letting nobody gives a. Is that spilled beer or is it urine? Who knows? That crap they sell at concerts anyway.
And again, no judgment here. I'm not trying to look down from my high horse, but I wear cloth adult diapers with safety pins because I care about the environment.
Greg.
Yes.
All you guys, you're choking Mother Earth with your pit vipers. Go like with me. Just get a rag from your kitchen.
Not your immediate environment, but the larger, the big picture, not the people standing next to you. Those cloth diapers were, what a miserable. I mean, my mom did cloth diapers. They didn't stop anything. My sister reeked.
I'm happy to say I have no interaction. I have no experience with cloth diapers, either on my own body, on my children's body, on a friend's kid's body. Never been around them once. No, can't imagine what a nightmare. What a nightmare that scene was for, millennia until somebody came up with Pampers, thank God. Number 4 in your top 5 at 6. Next time you're talking to a model on OnlyFans, and next time you think you and she or you and he are really connecting, and you finally have found that person, I don't know how to break it to you. Chances are you're talking to a bot, an AI tool. AI services like Super Creator, Chat Persona, and Flirt Flow are creating fake conversations. So if you are really, really into a certain OnlyFans account, or maybe 2 or 3, and you have developed and paid for the opportunity to chat with these people, most likely you're not talking to a person. You're talking to a bot of that person. And I just don't know what to think about anything anymore.
Right. You know what? I'm comforted by this fact because I always assume I'm just talking to a big fat guy with, a zip farm in his parents' basement. The fact that it's not him I'll take my imagination can run with it. I asked my chat GPT this morning to talk dirty to my cup of coffee. Oh, I need it. That dark, rich, and steaming cup calling my name. I can already feel the heat pressing against my fingertips as I pull it closer. The aroma is intoxicating, bold, smooth, impossible to resist. I crave that first taste. The way it touches my lips, velvety and strong. It goes on for about another half hour, but I've already ejaculated, so I'm good.
Wow, fantastic, man.
Pull the plug there.
Caffeinated and ejaculated, that is the recipe for great morning radio right
Bring
there.
on the day.
You're wide awake and also somehow really relaxed. That is exactly that's the sweet spot we're looking for around here. Speaking of sweet spots, check this out. Number 3 on your top 5 at 6. A story just came out in Southern Living magazine, and it's getting a lot of attention around the world. And it's about a little burger joint in Memphis, Tennessee, Dyer's Burgers. A diner. They offer things beyond just burgers, but it's those meat patties that are just cooked on in a lot of grease that people are getting excited about because they've revealed what is known to people in Memphis, but apparently nowhere else. They've been using the same grease since 1912. They have never changed out the grease from 1912. Dyer's, for the record, is on Beale Street. It's right across the street from the FedEx Forum. If you find yourself in Memphis and you go to a concert and you walk out late at night and you need the best damn greasiest hamburger you've ever had, they're open late. I've been there. I've done that. And let me tell you something. It is spectacular. And yes, it probably contributes mightily to the shortening of your life. But a burger cooked in just on that grill, and it's the same grease. They've never changed out the filter. They've never dumped it out. They just every time they add meat, more grease is produced. They just add it to the bin, if you will. Those patties, they're really thin. They shrink when they're fried on the skillet. So you got to go for a double. I've gone for a double. I've gone for triple. I've been there several times over the years. It's outstanding. Just something to think about. Nothing wrong with 100-year-old grease.
I love it. I've got a grill that hasn't been cleaned in 15 years. But if you want something a little closer to home, Al's Breakfast, right over here. Yeah. Just a quick walk over there. And I'm pretty sure they haven't cleaned that griddle in about 100 years.
Fun fact, still haven't gotten into Al's because every time I try,
it's full.
It's beyond full. Yeah. I'm just like, oh, really? You're going to stand here and wait 30 minutes, so I got to wait 37 minutes? What a jerk.
Yeah.
By the way, I was going to say, there's a noodle restaurant in Japan that's been serving noodles from the exact same broth since 1945. So, I mean, Dyer's has them beat, but this is not unusual. Oh, man, I would eat.
Eat my broth?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No. Well, hang on. Do I have a pit viper available? I'm sorry.
I think of my daughter's sunglasses, the pit vipers. Walnut blueberry pancakes, Al's Breakfast. That's it. That's my tip.
Fair enough. I appreciate that. Number 2, speaking of which, on your top 5 at 6, a study has found out, eating too many sweets, of course, can be bad for your heart. If you got a chocolate addict in your life, you're sometimes they're thinking like, that's going to just one day snap back on you. However, they're saying if you avoid sugar entirely, that might not be so awesome either. Too much sugar in drinks, yes, it can up your risk for heart attack or stroke. But they found that people who avoided sugar entirely, I have one friend who never, ever, ever, who spends hours of his day ensuring that he never ingests any sugar. Apparently, he's also at very high risk. They're not quite sure what it is, but zero sugar intake over the years leads to an unhealthier heart as well. Every one of these studies, no matter what it is they're looking at, it always comes down to moderation, which is why they all suck. Because moderation is just, it's a recipe for a longer life. But are you enjoying that life? I mean, come on.
Yeah. I mean, was it T.S. Eliot? All things in moderation, including moderation.
Thank you very much. That's a T-shirt right there. And if we have to credit him for it, fine, whatever. What did he ever write?
Not as good as caffeination, ejaculation. That's my favorite T-shirt of the morning. I'm from Minnesota, yo.
It's caffeination. Ejaculation. I'm hearing a Rod Stewart song mashup happening right here. Yeah. Hey, speaking of caffeine and ejaculation, want to say good morning to Wyzetta. Hey, guys, what's going on over there? Sure. How's everybody in Wyzetta this morning? Come on. You're up and about. You're up and about. You're listening to the show. You're sipping your coffee, and you're thinking, well, if it works for Zeb, maybe it works for me. Just want to say we send you our best, and we love that you're with us. And we love that you're riding roughshod right there alongside with us in the shotgun seat, Wyzetta. Number one on your top 5 and 6. Holy crap, how do you spell 12 and 2? Apparently, It's spelled SKOL. The Minnesota Vikings, as expected, beat the snot out of the Chicago Bears last night, 30-12. Not a surprise for the game at all. Not as surprising as seeing Vanilla Ice. I guess he's on that every 35 years I'm supposed to matter career path. But the highlight of the game for me was before kickoff. When the team with Chris Carter and Jake Reed, the honorary captains, and they paid tribute to the great Randy Moss, the incomparable Randy Moss, who has been battling cancer and he's been apparently doing very well. He had cancer near the bile duct between his pancreas and liver. He's continuing chemo and radiation. And Randy Moss, my God. If there's ever a guy that you look at and think he can't be sick, he's impervious to everything, is he not? No, of course he's not. But the team showed up and played their hearts out and paid tribute repeatedly to Randy Moss, which is wonderful to see. And again, it almost sounds like an afterthought. But 12 and 2 now with their playoff, their destiny in their own hands. This Vikings team. We got to take it seriously, and by God, you got to take Sam Darnold seriously. He did have one awful pick in the first half, but it's been a while since he'd thrown one of those. This is a force to be reckoned with, and here we go. It's mid-December and 12 and 2, and nobody saw any of this coming.
And they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, handling weak teams like the Falcons and the Bears the last couple of weeks. Not mistake-free football. They're going to have to clean it up a little bit by the time they play a team like, say, maybe the Eagles in the playoffs. They're going to have to. But they're doing what they're supposed to do. This team looks strong. They're weathering some injuries, even they're on the offensive line, but getting her done. And they've got 3 tough games down the stretch. Go Vikes, man.
They certainly do. All right, there's your top 5 at 6. If you're a leg man, pay attention. A guy in Neptune Beach, Florida, was thinking about Christmas and his neighbors, and everybody's decorating down there, and they're putting up all the Christmas stuff in their yards. And granted, it's Neptune Beach, Florida, so there's no snow. There's not really a wintry vibe, so they do their best to throw all the fake crap up there to give people the idea that they are waiting for Santa, and they appreciate the work of the elves in the North Pole and all that. It's not a Christmassy area, is my point. But that doesn't keep a dude named J.P. Michalik from going all in for a decoration. He is a fan of the movie A Christmas Story, as most of us are at some point in life. I mean, I think TBS has done their best to destroy it for me by playing it repeatedly all around the clock every year at Christmas. But I can tell you this, in the theater in 1983, it was magical. And so we all remember that movie, and we all remember the leg lamp. The dad in the movie was obsessed with this hot woman's leg fashioned into a lamp. And, of course, his wife was like, what the hell's wrong with this guy? It made for good shtick. And then years later, you started seeing leg lamps appear. You'd be at a store. Oh, my God, that's that thing from A Christmas Story. And now, again, this guy in Florida has gone all in trying to decorate in his front yard. He has a 20-foot tall version of the leg lamp. Got to have a half mile of fringe in order to get this done. This is the kind of thing where I realize I'm not like a lot of people. I could sit around late at night, drunk off my ass, and think, I'm going to build a 20-foot replica of the leg lamp from Christmas Story. But then I wake up the next day and I don't do it.
No, right?
This guy followed through. I mean, there's no way he thought of this while he was sober. He wasn't sitting around, caffeinated and ejaculated and calm and wide awake and thinking to himself, yeah, let's do this. No, this is a late night bug up his 6, and he decided to follow through. So to him, I say kudos. But, man, I mean, this guy could cure a lot of the world's problems if he really put his mind to it.
I mean, that's taking it one step further than putting it in the front window, right? Which is what Ralphie's dad did, whose name I forget now. I didn't even have a name in the movie. He's just dad, right? But
just grumpy old cuss.
Right there in the front window to mom's horror. And, we used to give these things away, have fun bar promotions every Christmas with the bar soap in the mouth. I've already talked about it in the last week or two. But people would go to great lengths to get this damn cheap little leg lamp. They wanted it so bad. But nobody beats the guy. Did you see the story I sent? Maybe we'll get to this a little bit later on. How about an actual leg lamp made out of a human leg?
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's a story to get into at some point. When you think Christmas, if you think leg lamp, you are of a certain time and place, and it's better left that you stay where you're from and where you are. All right, listen, you can find Steve Gorman and the KQ Morning Show podcast anywhere you get podcasts, anytime you want. That podcast, as always, sponsored by Devious Pizza and Hot Hoagies. Ooh, Devious. It's time to look back. December 17th, 1995. Where were you? The Cleveland Browns were in Cleveland playing their final home game. Our owner, Art Modell, had already announced, I'm moving this team to Baltimore. And so, as the fourth quarter began, Cleveland Browns fans, they started showing their appreciation for Modell and the team. They started tearing out chunks of bleachers, grabbing seats, removing them, and throwing all of this onto the field. They started dozens of fires throughout the stadium.
Yeah.
People were saying this is an embarrassment, and they were saying, no, this is
Cleveland.
A display of appreciation. We love this team. The stadium, Cleveland Municipal Stadium, was demolished within months of that final game. The Browns did move to Baltimore. They became the Baltimore Ravens. And then, oddly enough, 4 years later, Cleveland got an expansion team called the Browns. They had the same uniforms.
Yeah.
It was as if nothing changed.
Same losers.
Same losers. My God, what a franchise.
It's baked into the cities, isn't it? I mean, I don't know what that says here in Minnesota, but it is baked into the cities because the Browns went off to Baltimore, became the Ravens, but, the Colts had been a pretty good team over the years.
Oh, yeah.
And so they returned to their winning ways there in Baltimore, but not in Cleveland. Forever losers. Love you.
Not a chance. But I mean, seriously, the images from that day, the fires throughout the stadium was really. That's when you think, like, wait, is that a soccer game in Argentina? Oh no, that's a Cleveland Browns game. Okay. On this day in 2022. A mere 2 years ago, right there across the river at the U.S. Bank Stadium, the Vikings hosted a game against a team called the Indianapolis Colts. And wouldn't you know it, at halftime it was 33-0. Lo and behold, somehow the Vikings came back to win the game 39-36 in OT, the biggest comeback in NFL history. That was extraordinarily bizarre. I was watching that game thinking about the fact that, like, hey, I'm about to be in Minnesota. And look at this. And wow, how weird is that? And then I got here a few weeks later, and we immediately lost to the Giants in the playoffs. But hey, for that one afternoon, I felt pretty good about my new hometown team.
That's right. That's how it goes.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. It's the KQ Morning Show on Minnesota's Classic Rock, 92 KQRS.
Good morning. Good morning, one and all, but especially our friends in Brooklyn Park. What's happening in Brooklyn Park? Happy to have you with us.
It's all happening in Brooklyn Park.
Thank you. That's the answer I was looking for. Right there.
I had some good Cajun food last time I was there.
Really?
Kid, she's a foodie. She drags me to all these great places, but I don't know what it's called, Crazy Cajun or something like that. But surprisingly, I mean, Midwestern Cajun, and I'm not dissing on them. I'm just saying I can eat it.
Midwestern Cajun featuring black pepper.
Lots of it, man.
Right on. All right, Brooklyn Park, we love you. Let's get to it. It's Tuesday. We've been having fun, but now that's over. It's time for Unfun Facts.
Oh, I was just trying to get my facts straight. Unfun.
Unfun.
Not fun.
Not fun, not fun.
It's entirely unfun.
The KQ Morning Show presents
Unfun.
Facts.
Let's begin, shall we? Shall we?
Unfun Facts, Christmas edition. Check this out. In Greece, instead of Santa Claus, for generations, there was said to be a goblin that slides down the chimney, and he torments families for reasons only known to the beast.
Ah, all right.
The saddest part about this, it's not that this goblin comes down the chimney and then just tortures a family. It's that the people who invented this story didn't have the energy to come up with a reason. Like, but Dad, why do we have to worry about this goblin?
Yeah, because
I don't know.
said so.
We'll never know the thoughts of the beast. Just go to bed and shut up. I mean, this is just parents drunk on ouzo. Like, oh, for God's sakes, go to bed or the goblin's going to come down. Why? He only knows. I don't know.
Parents have always been parents. Because I Said So has been around for millennia.
Man, clearly finish the story, Greek parents. Come up with something. At least say, well, there was a stone in his shoe. Something. There was a pea under his mattress, and he could feel it when he slept. Just borrow from some other fairy tale, for God's sakes. In the 1800s, in many communities in Pennsylvania, it was believed that a disheveled, mystical man would also use the chimney as a gateway to whip bad children. Mm-hmm. Not exactly, keeping the Christmas spirit alive, but again, same kind of thing. You better get to bed and shut up, or else that disheveled, mystical man will come down the chimney and whip your ass.
I love that all the old Christmas traditions are really about just beating your children and scaring the hell out of them at a time when kids were probably, by today's comparison, very behaved. The child mortality rate was 50%. Yeah. You could literally kill your kid and you wouldn't go to jail. I'm just saying, what the hell were these kids doing compared to the brats we have today?
Bad children in rural Pennsylvania communities in the 1800s, you were a bad kid if you spoke without being spoken to first. That's it. That's all it took.
That's it. You're getting the switch.
That disheveled mystical man will come back down the chimney and whip you. Dad, that was your brother Stuart, and he walked in the front door. I saw him, and you told him to whip my ass because I spoke before you asked me a question. In France, another one of these, Père Fouettard, father whipper. Man, I tell you what, but we love to whip our kids. Another one of St. Nick's partners travels with Santa. Now, this is not a guy who's setting the table for Santa. He's right alongside of him. This was a French legend for generations. He would hand out coal lumps of coal, or, again, beatings to disobedient kids. What in the hell? There was a Dutch version known as Black Peter. So Black Peter, father whipper, or just your drunk dad, really, boy, the resentment he feels for you coming along when you did, kid.
Careful Googling Black Peter, by the way.
Very, very important that you type in Black Peter Dutch Christmas. That's how you want to complete that search. A lot of Christmas goblins. Greece, Bulgaria, Turkey, they've all got them. There was a group of goblins in those cultures known as the Kalakantazari. They live underground most of the year, and what they do during the year, they pass their time thinking of ways to bring about the apocalypse. I'm not making this up. Some drunk people did. And then during the 12 days of Christmas, they surface like a locust. Where have they been? I don't know. They just showed up, and they cause all sorts of chaos. And the idea was you could keep them out of your home by burning incense or a Yule log.
All right. What about a bong?
So that probably works as well. That is where the Yule log incense idea came from. You were keeping the goblins out. They also, these goblins, they cannot count above 2. So that means they've got, wait for it, 1, 2. That's it. They can only count to 2 because 3 is a holy number. So if you place a colander, a strainer, place it on your doorstep, it can trick them as they try to count the holes in it and then eventually kill themselves out of frustration.
Okay. All right. We needed American dads to redefine Christmas for us. We're not doing all that crap. Just put out some cookies and go to sleep. If he catches you awake, you're not getting any presents. That's it. Go to bed. God.
At some point,
calendar, what?
Christmas
Counting holes?
calendar.
At some point, that's the thing. Some Americans were like, well, why don't we just get the kids some presents and tell them it's a happy day? Let's just try that. I don't know. Probably sell it. We could market it a little better that way.
Thanks, Coca-Cola.
Good. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, somebody finally went, guys, we're missing out on the capitalism angle of this whole thing. Kind of hard sell that goblins are going to be stymied by a colander. Let's move to St. Nick being a happy fat dude with reindeers that fly. Yeah, way better decision right there. In South Africa, there was a Christmas ghost story. The idea was to keep kids from stealing the cookies left out for Santa. And it involved, there was a child named Danny. This is the story kids were growing up with. Danny was caught stealing cookies and was killed by his grandfather.
Oh,
what the hell?
Yeah, that'll teach him.
And now Danny's ghost roams around looking for the homes of other naughty children to haunt during the holidays. I seriously, what is with us as a species? No other animal in the animal kingdom does this. You don't see elephants going like, "Hey, that trunk, you think you have that? Well, if you're a bad elephant, your grandfather's gonna take that trunk." I mean, it's just so insane to think about. We just grow up, Christmas. We raise our kids to just be terrified of things to justify the fact that we just want to kick the shit out of them. I mean, what is this? What are we doing to our kids?
We'd already used Halloween. Let's move on to something fun,
Mistletoe. We all love the mistletoe. Mistletoe is hung above doorways, of course, and then you got to get a kiss or give a kiss. The origin of mistletoe, the word actually translates back to poo on a stick.
At the fair, yeah. That was a big one this year.
Good Lord. Christmas ornaments, we all put them on trees, all sorts of shapes and designs. Original ornaments were glass-blown spheres that were called witch balls.
Nice.
Witch balls were hung in the windows of houses with bright colors that would attract and then trap witches and dark spirits.
Well, that makes sense to me.
But when they talk about the dark ages, they're not kidding. I mean, we as a you said it best, Zepp. Hell, the childhood mortality rate was 50%. There was no one was being promised a rose garden at any time until sometime in the 20th century.
Witch balls.
Let's see. Christmas caroling, as we now know it, it's for Christmas cheer, but the caroling of the past, originally it was known as wassailing. It was a series of happy songs, but not intended to spread cheer, but to scare away Christmas ghosts.
You guys ever do any? Yeah, I don't know. You guys ever do any Christmas caroling?
No.
I have.
Have you done some Christmas caroling? Did you go out as a church group or something, or as a family? You guys had an entire choir.
No, it was a church thing. It was not a Gorman family thing. I mean, there was a bunch of Gormans involved, but it was a church thing.
Yeah, we would go to old folks' homes as a church thing. The Methodists, they'd take the kids out, and we'd go to the old folks' homes and sing. And here's an unfun Christmas fact. When they take you in, there was always one crazy old lady in a wheelchair all the way in the back that would keep lifting up her dress. And she did not have a diaper on.
Oh.
No, commando.
That's when you would always cue Holy Night.
Yeah, and then someone in those scrubs would come and wheel her out, take her back to her room, put her away.
That's pretty rough. Another fun fact about mistletoe, it's actually a parasitic plant. So, of course, it's a part of the Christmas tradition. Yeah. It will latch onto a tree. It will leach the nutrients and water from its host. Wow. Despite this, they say it's bad luck to refuse a kiss when under the mistletoe. I guess if you refuse a kiss, then they have to put the mistletoe around your legs and arms. It sucks out your vital nutrients and water, and then it kills you. I don't know if that's true, but I'm just going to pretend I'm a dad in France in the 1800s, and that's what I'm going to say. Because my God, what is Christmas for if not to terrorize children back in the day?
My God, I think we're missing out on the fun, aren't we?
In the 15th, and by the way, final one, going back to France, in the 15th century, people believed that witches, fairies, and all sorts of creatures from the occult would enter through your chimneys. Of course, that's where Washington Irving actually kind of borrowed the concept. And he turned St. Nicholas into what we now call Santa Claus. That's kind of where it came from. Not really sure how everybody was so terrified of chimneys. I mean, chimneys are pretty small now. I can't imagine they were a lot bigger in the 1500s. But, it was a weird thing to grow up in a world where you're like, my parents are here to protect me. But once a year, they will allow a stranger to come down the chimney and hopefully leave toys and presents. But if I've been bad, he'll whip me. I mean, it's a lot going on.
Yeah, it is a lot going on. I suppose kids are somewhat terrified. I mean, talk about, a horrible lottery. Either I'm going to get a present here or I'm going to get my butt whipped. Yeah, not cool.
And then you get older and you realize it's one and the same. Nothing quite like an ass whipping from the right person to make you feel the Christmas cheer.
Doesn't remind me of an axe.
Year long.
Yeah.
Hey, you can get the updated 92KQRS app, and that way you can take us with you anywhere and listen anytime. I would recommend doing that. Thinking about gift ideas. They don't have to be something that comes under the tree. It doesn't have to be in a box. It doesn't have to be gift wrapped. You can provide a service for somebody, or you can hire someone to provide a service for somebody. And, there's some very unique services out there around the world that people have come up with. Some incredibly successful business ideas. Think about this one. Maybe you hire a session for a friend from the Scratcher Girls. The Scratcher Girls. Right. It's a business that started in Miami, but now it's traveling around the country, and it's this. It's very simple. A woman named Tony George has got very long fingernails, and she will scratch your friend's back. You will pay for that. She scrapes your back, limbs, scalp, even the insides of your ears. Nothing sexual about it. What? This is simply, nothing sexual about it, or so they say. This is all about, you know what, I need a good back scratch, and I want someone that will do it for as long as I'll pay for it. Yes, there you have it. She says, by the way, I won't touch your back or your belly. Don't even ask. It's all about the back. You got to be face down, and then I will non-sexually scratch your back for about $130 an hour.
Jeez. I mean, less is more. $130 an hour. Yeah, you better go downstairs. You better. I'm just saying, I better at least get a tickle or a rub or something. Well, you know what? She has how long are her nails? Maybe not. Maybe we just
3-inch manicured nails.
Yeah, you know what? On second thought, maybe just a good back scratch, and not for $130 though, man. Jeez.
She's never broken a nail. She's got the touch, man. I'm just telling you.
That's what we have radio producers for. Anyone?
I cut my nails regularly, so
I do every day.
Look there. Yeah.
Anyway, the Scratcher Girls coming to a town near you. There's a place in Pasadena, California called Soft Touch ASMR Spa. And they offer full-time. It's a 50-minute session, 50 minutes for $110. And it's just any kind. It's not just scratching. It can be poking, prodding, any kind of soft touch. And again, purely for pleasure and nothing else, not in a sexual way. It's just, I guess if you're just not getting enough cuddling in life, or you want to cuddle or be cuddled or be touched by a stranger and you want to pay for it, this is now an option. Just something to think about. Maybe you put that under the tree. You know what I'm saying? Not nearly as weird as this one. A human bed warmer. This is a business.
What'd you call me?
I could be into this.
Now, you're going to have to travel. This is a woman in Moscow who has developed a very lucrative job. She is a human bed warmer. She gets your bed warmed up for you. Fun fact, but you're never in it at the same time. Again, completely non-sexual. She will come to your house. She will put on pajamas, and she will lay in your bed for an hour. Okay. And you can sit there outside of the bed. You can be in a chair or stand there, and you can have a conversation. You can spend that hour in deep, the meaning of life type stuff with her, but there's no touching. You cannot get near that bed. After an hour, she will get out, get dressed, and go home, and then you have a bed that is warmed up for you to climb in and go to sleep. What on earth would make someone feel that they need to pay someone else to warm their bed?
I don't know. My sister, 5 years ago for Christmas, made these corn bags. Have you experienced the corn bags?
No.
It's just a bag of corn. You throw it in the microwave. Or rice. She used corn, Midwest.
Okay.
And it's a bag of corn. I think that's all it is. And you throw it in the microwave for 5 minutes. You get the sucker super hot, and then you throw it between your sheets. Like they used to do with the old coal, things out of the fireplace and that sort of thing. But yeah, Ryder, you could not be a professional bed warmer yet. Because you're far too young. This is for women in their 50s having the hot flashes. Hop into bed with one of those women. Those are the women I've been sleeping with.
I've heard stories. Yeah.
Lava. They're just like lava. I kind of like it on a cold winter night better than flannel sheets.
This woman in Moscow's company has taken her business. It's not a company. It's just her. She's done so well. And now apparently a hotel in London is providing a similar service for its guests. You can call a hotel staff member wearing a thermal suit crawls into your bed for 10 minutes to warm it up.
All right. I want to blacklight that thermal suit before we get you into bed here.
Yeah,
when was the last time you guys, hose that thing off? Yeah.
Thank you very much. Here's one from Japan. Oh, boy. By the way, renting people in Japan is hardly a new thing. I mean, there's a company in Japan. We talked about this last year. You can rent somebody to, okay, let's say you have a partner who's cheating on you, and you don't want to confront them. That would be very rude. That's very un-Japanese. There's not a lot of confrontation. Socially, very different set of protocols. So you can hire someone to befriend your partner's lover, and that person's job is to convince the lover to back off.
I want that job. I mean, I'm just,
Hey, I'm Steve. Good to meet you. Oh, yeah. And then your second meeting. I can't believe I'm seeing you. You come for coffee every Tuesday? Great. Well, then I'll see you next Tuesday. And then the third meeting, you're like, so you're sleeping with Cindy, huh? Well, you know what? I know her husband. I think you should back off. You can be paid to do that. That's incredible. There's a company in Japan where you can rent a middle-aged man simply for company to just hang out with. You just, if you, for whatever reason, you're feeling a little lonely and you wish you had a friend and you don't know how to make him and you are a middle-aged man yourself, you can rent a guy by the hour to just come out and hang out with you.
Immediately I want to say, well, this is a little Midwest because we don't like confrontation, right? Yeah. But if you're cheating, it turns out I found out the Midwest women love confrontation then. If they catch you cheating, they're not at all bashful. They don't hire anyone. They do it themselves, real up close and personal.
Yeah, that manhole lid explodes into the air like in those viral videos. Oh sure it does.
Oh, yeah.
But now in Japan, there's a company called Debukari. It's a service that allows you to rent, well, let's just call it what it is, a fat person by the hour. You can rent an obese human being for over an hour.
Why?
By the way, a real rarity in Japan. Walk the streets of any Japanese city and find an obese person. They have a passport in their pocket. Trust me, they're not Japanese. And so now this company is saying, for about $18 an hour, you can rent a very large person. Why might someone want that? Well, they said, here's some possibilities. You might need a model to try on clothes for an overweight friend. Or you just want to spend time with someone bigger than you to help you feel better about your condition.
There we go now. We're getting
How about that? If you have a company that is offering a diet plan, you might need one of these large people to appear in an ad, like a before and after type of thing. Now, they're saying this is not a derogative. When we say the word fat, we don't mean it derogative. It's not. Yeah. It's not. It should be positive and empowering. Plus size people can apply for this. They should have no problems with that's where they are. Listen, they're saying, look, this is where you are in life, and we're here to help.
Okay.
Can't get out of it. Get into it.
You've got to weigh. You've got to weigh at least 100 kilograms. That's about 220 pounds.
220 pounds?
Well, when you're 5'6", that's thick.
All right,
that's what
makes
that is.
Sense. All right.
Plenty. See, so right there's several great gift ideas for under the tree.
I mean, you talk about. I was going to say, you talk about a job that Americans can export to other countries. It's obese people. I mean, load up the barge.
Yeah.
Hey, Debukari, will you get ready to have your mind blown? By the way, and you don't even have to load up just go to the airport and find a flight from America. You don't have to book it ahead of time. Just, probably one of every third people. Like, okay, hey, man, you want to make $19 an hour? The easy way? It's a job. I mean, it's a job. That reminds me, too. I was thinking there are plenty of jobs. I saw a great article about if you are someone who has a hard time with coworkers. Let's just say you're with people in general. There are jobs that are perfect for you if you just don't like other people. I've said for years, I love humanity. It's people I can't stand. That's, I believe, a Linus Van Pelt from Peanuts line. It's just one of those things. I don't hate the player. I hate the game at times is how that works. Mm-hmm. But there are jobs where that are kind of perfect for you. They say like say a welder. Most welders, and say that I don't know. It's a common theme among welders. They don't get along with people. They hate people.
No.
Welding inspectors. It's something about the welding community. A bunch of loners.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's always that. Yeah.
You got that. You're sparking up that blowtorch, and I mean, you've got the whole gear on and everything. Yeah, I can see where you'd want to do that on your own.
Yeah. One of the jobs my dad had before he was a professional dirt farmer, in addition to being a computer programmer, he was he was going to be a professional welder. That was going to be his thing. But in central Pennsylvania, where he lived at the time, there were too many professional welders. I guess a bunch of loners. But that checks. Dad can be a little bit of a loner. But yeah, you got all those hot sparks flying, the bright light.
That's
you
true.
can't just walk up and start chatting with a welder.
I've yet to discuss. I've seen welders operating and working, and none of them look like Jennifer Beals.
True.
I don't know if you get them in the right outfit.
I was given a very tremendous amount of misinformation in the early 80s from the films I was going to see, and that is key among them is that welders are amazing dancers and look great in very little clothing.
Yeah. There again, had already hung out with some welders at that point in my life when the movie came out, and I knew they were lying to us. I'm like, no,
not a chance.
She's not welding.
What about a lighthouse keeper? What about that job? What about the guy who's actually in that lighthouse off the coast of Maine? You know, like, their ship's made to make sure they don't hit the rocks, and then they're just crusty and old. And you see a 45-year-old lighthouse keeper, he looks 90.
Yeah, you're right. That's a very solitary job. I'm trying to think of that lighthouse keeper job. Did you ever see that Lighthouse movie that came out? What was it, just in the last year?
No.
I don't remember that. I'm sorry I even brought it up. It's really, really weird. Black and white. But anyway.
Oh, really?
Two very well-known actors whose names, because I can't remember names I can't figure. I'm sorry I brought it up.
I don't know how I missed that one. It sounds riveting.
It's there's a lot of masturbation. Two guys in a lighthouse and a lot of masturbation.
I just Googled this. Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson as 19th century lighthouse keepers. Oh my God.
Yeah, watch that. I don't know why. I don't watch movies, but I watched that one, and that's why I don't watch movies.
The poster for the movie itself looks like, oh no, please, I don't want to see this. Oh man, that's fantastic. All right, somehow missed that one. That sounds exciting. That's something to get into, though. A night shift security guard at a museum. No, sorry, not interested. Baker, the only con is you have to wake up early. Couldn't be a baker. Commercial truck driver. You know what? I'm right where I need to be. I come in here, I put on headphones, I just yap at the two of you, and then I go home, and then I yap at my wife, and then, it's good. Yeah. All right. But, then again, I'm not one of those people who hates people. I kind of enjoy people. Call me crazy. Yeah, I know. The best thing you can do in radio is have friends that don't work in radio. Because then when you're like, oh, man, I can't believe I got to work on Saturday. Or really, what are you doing? Oh, well, the volleyball tournament I got to check out at Lord Fletcher's. Oh, really? I got to go pour cement for 8 hours. Oh, all right. Well, never mind. I'll quit bitching now. I got a Tropicana swimsuit thing I got to judge a little bit later, too. Yeah. I would, for years on the road in the old days, I'd call one of my brothers or sisters, and we'd be catching up. And they'd be like, everything okay? And I'd be like, well, yeah, I had to fly to L.A. to do this TV show, and then I had to go up to San Francisco and play a couple gigs, and I'm just beat. And there would just be this silence. Oh, sorry. My bad. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry, you have kids and a day job, right? Yeah. Okay, my bad. I'll stop. In
the middle of a 60-hour work week.
I've found out in the last 2 years, and this has happened, I no exaggeration, 24 times. Yeah, it's tough. It's a big adjustment to get up so early. I mean, I'm still, some days it's great, some days it's bad. I'm still up and down. Had this conversation over Thanksgiving with a friend, and he goes, what time you finished in the day? I'm usually, we sign off about a little before 10. He's like, and then you're done for the day. You're done. I'm like, well, yeah, but I mean, I'm not. Yeah, never mind. Shut up. Just shut up.
Yeah, all my friends have been drunk texted about the time they're taking lunch. They're like, are you drunk? I'm like, well, it's like 9 o'clock your time.
That's right.
PM, that is. I've been at happy hour for a while by myself.
Yeah.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. It's the KQ Morning Show on Minnesota's Classic Rock. 92 KQRS.
Good Tuesday morning. It is December the 17th. And oh, baby, we would love to give away some hockey tickets. We got tickets to see the Minnesota Wild versus the Florida Panthers tomorrow night. We got a couple pairs of tickets. We got tickets to see the Wild versus the Utah Hockey Club Friday at XL Energy Center. So we got a couple pairs of tickets, and we need you to load up the phone, 651-989-ROCK. We're going to play the old twofer game. We're going to give away, hopefully, 2 sets of tickets. That's just how cool we are. I don't know how else to explain it. Man, that's nice. But while we're waiting to get those callers lined up, I want to say good morning to our listeners in Cambridge, Minnesota. Good morning, Cambridge.
One of my first homes in Minnesota. And by the way, some of the best damn cafes in all of the Midwest. People's Cafe, good morning. Everyday Cafe. It's another good one. That's 2.
Living the cafe lifestyle in Cambridge. I like that.
Hell yeah.
It sounds pretty, kind of hoity-toity for you, Zep.
No, well, you got to visit the cafe. They're very cafes. When I say cafe, first diner thing that pops into your head, that's the People's Cafe for sure. That's on Main Street right there. I think every day is also on Main Street as well. I'm sure they're open now and bustling and smelling good, grease and
sure.
Coffee.
Happy to have you with us, Cambridge. You know what to do. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to get to the game. A little something we call twofer. This is how it works. Ryder spends a little bit of time on occasion in the bars and the taverns and the pubs and the dives of the Twin Cities, and she talks to the people and she asks them questions and they give her answers, and then we bring that content back and we try to match the answers to the same questions with a caller on the phone. Does that make sense? Ryder asks someone at a bar 5 questions. Our listener on the phone will be asked the same 5 questions. If they get 2 of the 5 right, they win hockey tickets. Bing, bang, boom. It's just that simple. So let's get to it. It's time to play twofer. Caller number 1, Kim in Baldwin, Wisconsin. Kim, good morning.
Good morning, Steve.
Kim, give me your favorite band.
Don't hate me. You're talking to a tried and true member of the KISS Army.
Oh, no hate at all.
Nothing to hate. Yeah, nothing but love.
Give me your favorite team, any sport.
Minnesota Wild.
Oh, well, now I hate you. No, I'm kidding. Of course, I don't hate you at all. That's great. KISS and the Wild, that's a heady combination. I like it. Are you ready to play twofer?
Ready as I'm ever going to be, I guess.
All right, I'm going to ask you 5 questions. You need to answer them all, and then we'll see how you do. Here's number 1. As an adult, name something you would love to find in your stocking Christmas morning.
Money.
Bang. Who is a guitar player that many would consider the greatest of all time?
Steve Vai.
Steve Vai, I like it. Okay. Name a kind of bear.
Grizzly.
Grizzly works. Let's see what else we got here. Hang on, I'm just marking these down. Finish this phrase. Like a bowl full of blank.
Jelly.
Jelly. I like jelly myself. All right, and one last question. How much snow is enough to shovel?
2 inches.
2 inches, she says. All right, very well done, Kim. Let's see what we got. Ryder, who's your barfly, number 1?
So the first person I checked in with at Station 280, right here by the station last night, was Brett. He says he's a pharmacist. I don't know if I buy it because he was kind of a smartass.
It means he's a drug dealer.
That's what I thought, but he wouldn't cop to it. Favorite band is the Beatles. Favorite team is the Vikings. Here are his answers. Name something you'd like to find in your stocking Christmas morning.
Tape measure.
Who is a guitar player many would consider the greatest of all time?
John Mayer.
Name a kind of bear.
Kodiak.
Finish the phrase, like a bowl full of...
Soup.
Oh, my God.
How much snow is enough to shovel?
How much snow is enough to shovel? 3 inches.
Oh, that was close. He is a pharmacist.
Yeah.
Wow.
Man, Kim, you went 5 for 5. I'm going to say that guy went 0 for 5. I'm sorry
John
to say.
Mayer, I didn't know where that one came from, but super nice dude.
Super nice, dude. And Kim, you sounded wonderful, and I thought for sure we'd have hockey tickets for you. Thank you for calling in and playing. Better luck next time. All right, man. Dude, wow. Okay, contestant number 2, we have Steven in Monticello. Steven, good morning.
Good morning.
Steven, give me your favorite band.
I'm going to have to go with my Christmas band, which is the Beatles.
That'll work. Give me your favorite team, any sport.
My 12-2 Vikings.
Attaboy. I like it. All right. You know what we're doing here, right? I'm going to ask you 5 questions. You answer them, and we'll see if you can match them to a barfly. Here we go. Number 1. Besides the Vikings, name a team that you would enjoy watching in the Super Bowl.
Lions.
All right. Fair enough. Name a kind of pie.
Pumpkin.
Pumpkin. Past or present, name an attraction at the Mall of America.
Camp Snoopy.
Camp Snoopy. Nice. What's an animal you love to see in the wild but would make a terrible pet?
A bear.
A bear. And last question for Steven here. If your friend told you they won, quote, a bunch of money pulling tabs, what's the minimum amount of money you would assume they had won?
$500.
500 clams. All right. Well done, Steven. Hang tight here. Barfly number 2 rider.
That would be Kevin. He is from the Public Works Department. Favorite band, Def Leppard. And he is such a big Vikings fan that he actually has a jersey for his cat, Bud. So here we go. With You showed me a picture. It's real cute. Here we go with Kevin's answers. Besides the Vikings, name a team it would be fun to watch in the Super Bowl.
The Browns.
Name a kind of pie.
Key lime.
Past or present, name an attraction at the Mall of America.
Nickelodeon Universe.
What's an animal you'd like to see in the wild that would make a terrible pet?
Let's go with the badger.
Badger. If your friend told you they won a bunch of money playing pull tabs, what's the minimum amount of money you'd assume they won?
500.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Hey.
There's one.
Well, you got one, Steven, but we needed 2 for the twofer.
So close.
So very close, my friend. Thanks for calling in and playing. Better luck next time. We're moving on. We got contestant number 2. Contestant number 3, Mike in Woodbury. Mike.
Yes.
Mike, give me your favorite band.
Rolling Stones.
Give me your favorite team, any sport.
Minnesota Wild.
Attaboy. All right, we got Wild tickets on the table. I'm going to ask you 5 questions. Give us your answers. Let's see if you can match with a barfly. Here we go. Number 1, harder than a blank.
Steel.
Name a popular toy most kids would want as a gift.
Tonka truck.
Yeah, they would.
1950.
Right. Which highway in the Twin Cities is most in need of an extra lane?
94.
All right. What's a popular topic for a rock band to write songs about?
Girls.
Damn straight. Should people open presents Christmas Eve or Christmas Day?
Christmas Day.
He says day. All right, Mike, well done. Ryder, who we got?
Okay, we chatted with Tony. Tony happens to be a beer rep. He said he wanted me to call him Tonar the Bonar because he thought that was real on brand for us.
Okay.
Favorite band is Metallica, and he is actually familiar with, I think him and Zeb have worked together before. Favorite band is Metallica. Favorite team is the Vikings. And here are Tonar the Bonar's answers. Finish the phrase harder than a...
Rock.
Name a popular toy kids would want as a gift.
Baseball glove.
Which highway in the Twin Cities is most in need of an extra lane?
62.
What's a popular topic for a rock band to write songs about?
Jobs.
Or the beer rep isn't going to say drinking?
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Should
man.
people open Christmas presents on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day?
Christmas Day.
All right, 1 for 5, Mike. Again, so close, man. Damn. These barflies, they don't know what they're doing. They don't know their ass from a hole in the ground so far. Mike, thanks for calling in. We got one more shot to give away some tickets. Sure. I believe we have Ashley. Come on, Ashley.
Smashly.
Yes.
Ashley, give me your favorite band. Give me your favorite band.
Led Zeppelin.
Nice. Give me your favorite team. Any sport.
Minnesota Wild.
Right on. We got Wild tickets on the table. You got to match the barfly. You need 2 matches. Here we go. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Number 1. How many inches of snow should fall before officials declare it a, quote, snow day?
8.
8. Name a current famous Minnesota athlete.
Oh, man. Adrian Peterson.
What's a Christmas song most people are sick of?
The Mariah Carey one. All I want for Christmas is you.
We'll accept that. Finish this phrase. Ice and blank.
Ice and blank?
And what?
Ice and fire.
All right, there you go. How much does a concert ticket have to cost before you would consider it to be expensive?
$250.
$250. Fair enough. All right, Ashley, good luck. Here's barfly number 4.
Let's go back to name a current famous Minnesota athlete. Ashley.
Oh, a current?
So, yeah, somebody who's active right now.
Hold on.
Maybe who caught a touchdown last night. I don't know.
I'm so bad with names.
Well, make one up.
Wild, yeah.
How about Kaprizov?
There you go.
Nice.
That's a great one. All right.
Hell yeah. All right. Very well done, Ashley. Now it's time for barfly number 4. Who we got?
We chatted with Alex, who works in HR. Favorite band, Morgan Wallen. Favorite team, the Minnesota Timberwolves. Here are Alex's answers. How many inches of snow should fall before officials close school for a snow day?
2 feet.
Name a current famous Minnesota athlete.
Jefferson.
What's a Christmas song most people are already sick of?
Mariah Carey.
Bam.
What's the name of the song?
All I Want for Christmas.
Finish the phrase, ice and...
Beer.
How much does a concert ticket have to cost before you consider it expensive?
At least $200.
Oh,
that was close. Yeah. What?
$200, $250. It was right there. Ashley, thanks for playing. Sorry we didn't quite connect with our barfly, but we appreciate you calling in.
You're welcome. Bye.
Man.
There's a lot of good answers. Ice and beer, that's the first thing I thought of. Ice and fire, I guess, is the natural one right there. But I thought about ice and beer. When I think of ice, I think about beer. Or cutting a hole in it and dropping a fishing lure in there.
Yeah,
Man,
ice and auger, sure.
I hate leaving tickets on the table like that. That just means we'll have more, I guess, for tomorrow. Go figure.
Absolutely.
So I'll sell them on StubHub for you.
There's always that. There's always that option, I guess. Let's see here. KQ Morning Show, it's Tuesday, December the 17th. Hell, I don't know. It's a bit of a grab bag day around here. What are we going to get into?
Should you break up with somebody before Christmas, or should you let that go till after the holidays?
Oh, well, hold on. Let me check my text, see if my wife's awake. Yeah, we can talk. Yeah, we can talk about that. Christmas is right around the corner, a week and a day until the big day. Let's get right to it. Are you in a relationship that you are questioning? If you're questioning the veracity, if you're questioning the duration, if you're wondering if it's time to end a relationship, but Christmas is a week and a day away, what do you do? If you think you're not going to make it past the holidays, should you make it to the holidays?
Oh, you're effed now. You can't break up. Now you're a douchebag.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, it was just, okay, I see. This isn't working out. You don't want to go into now it just seems like you're panicking, you're freaking out, you're a douchebag. It's too late. You're done. Yeah, you're stuck. Or you just be the douchebag. I never had a problem with that myself, but some people did. Some people do.
Yeah.
Well,
I once broke up with a woman because she didn't like bacon.
Well, that checks out. That makes perfect sense.
I don't like bacon. We're done.
How long into the relationship before you discovered this?
About a month in, but the worst one was because she. Never mind. I'm not even going to say it. Sorry.
I thought you were going to say 12 hours in. We woke up, went to a diner, and went, no, this is it. We're not going to make this. This isn't going to last.
No, I did. I was once told that my soul wasn't developed enough to be loved. Yeah. That was before Christmas, and that was.
Listen. Yeah. But that was your mom's way of trying to get you to. So there was a study done on Facebook relationship status. People change their Facebook relationship status, and so somebody was analyzing when that happens the most. And the peak of the entire year is the 2 weeks leading up to Christmas.
Yeah.
More than at any other time, people go from in a relationship to single. Relationship experts, I don't know what that even means, say it's better to end it now. Don't wait. You're not doing anybody any favors, because if you wait until after Christmas, you will then make memories to essentially ruin them. You'll have Christmas, you'll exchange gifts, and then it will be apparent that you were just going through the motions the whole time, that you weren't really there, and then these memories are made and then destroyed by the post-Christmas breakup. So if you're thinking of ending it, end it now.
No, you're past that. Steve, you're past that. Trust me, I've broken up in December about 15 times. You're best now. You're so close to Christmas now. She already bought you a gift, by the way. So I'm only talking to the guys because that's the only perspective I have.
Right.
You're too close to Christmas right now.
Okay.
Just wait till she gives you the gift. Open it up. Say, thank you. I love it, whether you have to lie or not. And then say, I didn't get you a gift because we're breaking up.
Oh.
That's the same as doing it right now. It's the exact same as doing it right now.
Wow.
Yeah, because then after that, after you get through the holidays, then if you break up right away after the holidays, then it's like, really, you let us go all the way through Christmas? You met my family. I met your family. I fell in love with your mom. We sat there and got drunk and told lots of stories. And now you're breaking up with me. And if you wait a little bit too long into January, you're getting too close to Valentine's Day, and then you're screwed. So, yeah. It's too late.
No winners.
Yeah, I guess when taking into account when to break up, you do have to consider what the Hallmark company would say.
Yeah.
Man, that's a pretty rough one. I was going to ask you then. I mean, you answered my question. Well, if you stick through the holidays, then when can you get out? How soon after January 1st can you pull the ripcord? Oh, this is just terrible. What about Arbor Day? Do you have to wait? Do you have to get past Arbor Day? You can plant a tree in their memory? What do you think?
Exactly. That's exact. Plant a tree in their best friend.
The
best way to do that.
The last painful, devastating breakup for me was many years ago, but it didn't happen on Christmas Day. By the way, Christmas Day has the lowest breakup rate of the year for any day of the year. There's not a day with less breakups. However, the seed was planted for a 2-week later breakup. It was Christmas Day that I realized I was going to break up with my girlfriend when the gifts that she sent me.
Oh.
So I got to go all the way back to like my early 20s. Been dating a girl for 3 years, and we had Christmas with our respective families. So I'm at my brother's house. She's at her folks' house. And she sent me my gift, like UPS or whatever. So it was under the tree in Baltimore at my brother's house, which I thought that was amazing.
Yeah.
Never occurred to me to send her a gift. I just said, I'll give you one when I see you. And I opened up I opened up a box, and it was clearly a box from like a store, like a Dillard's or Macy's or one of those.
Okay.
And inside was like what you would call a dress shirt and a pair of khakis. For Christmas.
Yeah, it's time for you to conform into a better... Yeah.
I'm the Goodwill King. I'm not wearing those kinds of clothes. At this time, I'm trying to be mistaken for a member of the Replacements.
She has plans for you.
I was just gobsmacked. I was like, wait, what in the hell? And I called to say Merry Christmas. She's like, did you like your gift? And I said, no, I didn't. She was like, okay, well, you don't have to be an asshole about it. And I'm like, I'm the guy. Let me tell you who's an asshole. And we just had this big argument on the phone.
Uh-huh.
Well, Merry Christmas to you. And it was all this. And then I couldn't break up with her, though, because we already had a trip planned that I wanted to take.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah.
Post-Christmas, pre-back-to-school trip. But as soon as we got done from that trip, I mean this quite sincerely, on the drive as we're approaching home, it was like, yeah, this isn't going to work, is it? And it was like, no, that's done. The khakis was a bridge too far. There was no coming back from it.
Put on the khakis, start a 401k, and hit the punch clock, buddy. You're getting married. That's what that means.
By the way, she and I have remained friends to this day. In case you're wondering, she's been very happily married for 30-some-odd years to a pilot, an Air Force pilot.
Ah.
Okay.
So she got what she was looking for. Just not in this guy.
They'll wear khakis.
I never broke up around Christmas. This is funny, too, now that I'm thinking about it. I got destroyed by my high school girlfriend because we were on again, off again, and I broke up with her twice. The first time was right before the fair, the state fair. You know, like the fair, the highlight of the summer for high school kids is you go to the fair. And I dumped her the week of the fair.
Well,
she was like, oh, my God, I've waited my whole life to have a boyfriend at the fair, and now you do this? And the next time we broke up was a month before prom.
Oh.
I don't know, man. I just couldn't help but make it worse every time.
Yeah, well, that's your way of saying it's not me, it is you.
That's my way of saying
you're not the one.
It's you, and I've been unhappy for way longer than I could possibly admit. But I still think we could be friends. So if you're going to break up with somebody, basically what we're saying is, you know what? I don't care what this says. This poll says 8 days out. It's too late. Just, you know what? Just ride the storm out. Get through it. Enjoy it. I'd say basically you have a month to come up with the perfect breakup, verbiage. I thought going into Christmas, I really felt like this was going to be great. And I've just, this thing, I don't know how to describe it. It's just, you make me sick. And, you have like a month to get the words out in a better way than that.
Yeah, it's Christmas is a bigger deal, I think, overall to women, especially when you're dating. I just feel like they raise the bar. They have high hopes for the Christmas season and everything that's going to happen with you, too. So just be a jerk. Just let your jerk flag fly, and be grumpy about things, be late to things. When you open her gift, roll your eyes, that kind of thing. And, your work's halfway done. When you tell her you're breaking up, she's already dating someone else. Yeah. She's already texting someone else.
If it's your first Christmas together, you can totally set it up with, painful Christmas memories from childhood that may or may not have actually happened. When I think about Christmas, I just think about how much I hate children. What? What do you mean?
Yeah, that's a good one.
I'm cool with teenagers, but I hate babies. I absolutely hate babies. And then when I think about Christmas and then just how gross puppies are, you can totally set it up, and then she's walking out on you, and then it's all good. As long as she breaks up, then you've won the game.
These were all things my husband said to me that just made me love him more.
Then it can backfire on you too. Make sure, you've got to have an ironclad. You can't those ones we were joking about. Oh, it's not you, it's me. That kind of stuff. Oh, women fight right through that very quickly. Again, men probably do too. I only have one perspective, and that's the one I choose to give. But Danny boy, thank you for texting me this morning. Dan said, Zep, do you remember the girl that broke up with me before Christmas? I do, Dan. This was about 10 years ago. It was the week before Christmas. About this time, she wrecked his truck. Ooh. She wrecked his truck.
Okay.
And broke up with him because he has bad karma.
Oh, man.
Wait. What?
She got into an accident in his truck and said that was his karma. And so she broke up with him. I'm like, dude, Dan, I remember. And I think one of our other friends actually started dating her the next year, and he also broke up with her. But
I tell you what, man. When a girl says I'm breaking up with you because you have bad karma, you, my friend, are being gifted right at that moment. Yeah. You are just absolutely being given a reprieve from the governor. Get out and just live that next life to the best. My God in heaven above. All right, it's December the 17th, and we've got a few things we feel it's important that your top 5 at 9 is coming up. Hang tight.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. It's the KQ Morning Show on Minnesota's Classic Rock, 92 KQRS.
Man. Dennis DeYoung's been out of Styx longer than he was in Styx. And he's still talking about it. He's still saying he wants to come back. I remember watching the VH1 Behind the Music. Remember, man, when Behind the Music hit the scene in the late 90s, that show was, what do they say, the bomb. Every one better than the one before it. And I watched the Styx Behind the Music, and I remember saying, like, man, Dennis DeYoung just pulled off something completely impossible. He made everyone else in Styx look really cool. Wow.
A very nerdy dude, yeah. But, I mean, could write a ballad.
Oh, no doubt about it. He owned it. I mean, he's like, yeah, well, you know, I have really sensitive eyes. The bright lights on stage made it really hard for me to perform. And I'm just like, man, what a walk in the park it was to work with that guy. But, yeah, along the way, wrote a couple of dandies, no doubt about it.
Also wrote Mr. Roboto.
Well, the less said about it, the better. Although I saw this. Styx started playing it again recently. They hadn't played it since he left the band. And a couple years ago, they put it back in the set because the people had spoken. They said, you know what? After all these years, domo arigato. Let's do it.
Still too soon.
It is. Yeah, there's so many songs from my, middle school, high school, college, all those years when music meant way, way too much to me. A lot of those songs that I hated, I listen to now, and I'm like, oh, that was just me being dumb. That's a great song. Like I was really when I was in high school, like I hated Journey and Loverboy and basically anything really popular. I was like, yeah, it sucks. And I'll listen to a song now and go like, it's great. What's wrong with me? That's awesome. Not so for Mr. Roboto. Hadn't come around a bit. Nope. I'll die on that hill.
Yeah. Even in real time. It is
time to move on with your top 5 at 9. If you're just now getting up and going at it, then again, my heartfelt congratulations to the life decisions you've made. Yeah. Number 5, Liquid Death, the water company. The drink that comes in the big can. The drink that I didn't know was water for years. I used to see it, and I was like, man, whatever that is, that must be strong. Liquid Death is water. Liquid Death has collaborated with Depend, the leading brand of adult diapers. They have a $75 Pit diaper, not Pit Viper, the Pit diaper. And it's designed to allow concert goers to stay in the mosh pit or at least in your seat without having to go take a bathroom break, interrupting the flow of your concert-going experience.
I mean, I'm close enough anyway. Why not? Just to hedge my bets. I mean, I'm going to be wearing them sooner or later. So
I hear you. I mean, Sabrina Carpenter is a pop star of note these days, and she played a show in San Francisco recently, and a TikTok video went viral, and it showed a woman in the middle of the show just peeing in the floor, like on the floor. She's like, oh, you know what? I don't want to leave. I don't want to miss my spot here on the floor. I'm just going to do it. And people are all freaking out about it. And then on the heels of that, which is just called good timing, Liquid Death announced, we've been already thinking about this. The Pit diaper, adult diaper, for the record, doesn't look like your typical Depends. It has rock and roll inspired details, black pleather, metal studs, and chains. It comes with adjustable waist and hip sizes, and the Pit diaper promises to keep fans dry and comfortable with both leak-proof technology and odor-neutralizing materials.
All right.
Jeez,
I mean, this
fancy.
Is perfect to pair with the butt muffler. This Christmas season. Wow.
I think those are out of print.
No, you can't get a butt muffler anymore.
I think I gave away the last one.
Now they're collectors. With the diaper, I've been to too many Chainsaw Kane shows, at Ryan's and some of the old Iron Horse, no one was, cutting out to go to the bathroom. It wasn't a Sabrina Carpenter show, in other words. For the Match show I saw at First Avenue, literally peed on the back wall, and not one person thought anything of it.
No, that's just marking your territory, letting the world know that you know what's up. Where was the Pit diaper when Def Leppard and Motley Crue and Joan Jett were playing? That's what I want to know. Number 4 on your top 5 at 9. If you are a fan of an OnlyFans account, if you follow somebody on OnlyFans and you are one of those high premium paying customers that gets to the point where you can actually interact with them online, via text or even sometimes voice call, heads up. you're not talking to who you think you're talking to. OnlyFans accounts almost all now outsourcing the job of chatting with paying customers to bots, to AI tools. They're called Super Creator, Chat Persona, Flirt Flow, all applications that create fake conversations who pay to converse with real models. Oh, what has the world come to?
I mean, it's as an old perv myself, I can tell you this is a relief because most of the time you do this, you engage in this kind of behavior, you're pretty sure it's just a fat zit farm in their mom's basement.
Pretty much.
So, I mean, this is, and I'm taking the AI stuff. Have you seen the AI sex models online? Come on. God can't do it that well. Or whoever, human evolution couldn't figure that out. It took a computer to figure that out. Bring it on. This is getting me re-interested. It's been a few years, but I'm thinking about it now. Yeah,
when I pictured the person on the other end of those 1-900 phone calls from back in the day, I didn't necessarily picture I didn't think about how big the person was. I didn't think about anything other than I just saw an image in my head of a large mole on their face with a hair growing out of it. That's as far as I could see through the phone line.
Probably pretty accurate, I think.
Yeah. Number 3 on your top 5 at 9. Just a travel tip. If you find yourself in Memphis, Tennessee, anytime soon, you will probably want to do the normal things. You go to Graceland, you go to Rendezvous Barbecue, a lot of famous things to do in Memphis. The Civil Rights Museum is an incredible afternoon. There's so many things to do in that great city. There's a diner called Dyer's. Elmer Doc Dyer, an actual guy named Elmer. Elmer Dyer opened this joint in 1912. And there's an article that's out right now in Southern Living that's getting a lot of attention around the world because Dyer's makes burgers. I've been there. I've had one, and it's been amazing. But I didn't realize when I went to Dyer's, any of the several times I've been, that they have never, since 1912, changed the grease.
Gee.
Oh, yeah.
They're using the same grease.
I mean,
it was so this place opened in 1912, and one night the cook forgot to change the grease in the pan, and then they said, well, these burgers tasted a little better the next day and a little better the next day. The skillet of grease has never been changed. All the burgers are still cooked in the original grease that made this restaurant famous over 100 years ago. He said it's the same molecules from 1912, the now owner of the restaurant. We strain it through to get any particles out of it, and then we season it, and we just keep using it over and over. And, of course, every time they put in new burgers, they give off grease, so it just completely rolls along. The grease trap at Dyer's, not something you got to worry about changing anytime soon.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's that's bachelor living. That's being raised by a single dad or something like that. Yeah. Dad's not changing. I want some of that grease. I don't want their food. I mean, I do want their food, but I'm not going to Memphis. I would buy like a big
of grease?
Yeah, a big tub of grease, of their grease. I want some of their 100-year-old grease. I'm pretty sure also, I think this is equally as impressive at Palmer's Bar over here. They have a bar rag that hasn't been washed in 26 years. Pretty sure. You get a little too close to that bar rag and you're, Woo!
So add Dyer's to your list of things to do when in Memphis. And I tell you, I like I said, I've been there and I've enjoyed the burgers. Usually at night, usually kind of tipsy. It is on Beale Street, for crying out loud. I mean, it's right in the heart of good old Memphis. So it's worth a stop by. Speaking of which, number 2 on your top 5 at 9. Researchers at the University of Michigan have come up with some really interesting information. Nutritionists are looking at this, and they basically determined how many minutes you lose from your life expectancy every time you eat a cheeseburger or a hot dog or drink a Coke, for example.
All right.
Long story short, they're suggesting every time you eat a hot dog in your life, you're taking 36 minutes off your life expectancy.
Oh, wow.
Every time you eat it. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, like 10 4th of Julys ago, I died.
Yeah, I mean, every cheeseburger is 9 minutes. A slice of bacon is 6 minutes. I've been dead since the 80s.
Yeah, I mean... And what's their point? That we would give this up so that we could just live the most miserable life ever lived? It's quality, baby, not quantity.
Hot dogs are the worst, followed by cured meats. An egg breakfast sandwich is third. That's 13 minutes off someone's healthy lifespan. And then, of course, it turns into the same old thing. But you know what you can do is eat more fish and plant-based stuff. Like, oh, stop, please.
Beer is plant-based.
It certainly is.
Yeah. So
And then
okay.
what? Start a retirement plan? Too late. No.
Yeah.
I mean, this is interesting. I'm a kid who, when a college student, I would, just because I would wonder if I could eat a whole pack of hot dogs. And the answer was, yeah, sure did. Yeah, I absolutely did. I wonder if I could eat an entire pound of bacon, and I could. Yeah, go figure. and then I was wondering, like, why can I not drink enough Gatorade for the next 3 days? I just can't figure that one out. I could never determine if there was an association between those two things. But anyway, so just remember, every hot dog's like a half hour off your life. So eat up and enjoy it, man.
Yeah, right, exactly.
It's a time that we just tip our cap quickly to our friends. Oh, right here, St. Paul. Good morning, all of our listeners in St. Paul.
Just think of the dive bars, restaurants, the rich living over there in St. Paul. How many years they've taken off our lives over there. Thank you, St. Paul.
St. Paul has provided us with so many memories that we won't be around long enough to remember. So thank you for that.
By the way, a little fun fact about St. Paul that we used years ago on the show. I don't know if it's still true, but at one point, the most beer taps of any city in Minnesota. You find them in St. Paul. Someone counted them all.
I used to say for years, the thing about there's certain towns, Chicago was one I used to mention. Every time I get there, I was like, oh, I didn't realize I'd packed my drinking hat. It's just one of those things. And for the last 2 years, if I've learned one thing, that's also add St. Paul to the list. Just something about you cross the line and it's like, oh, I didn't know it was a drinking day, but it is. Love you, St. Paul. Number one on your top 5 at 9. 12-2. The Minnesota Vikings last night with a 30-12 victory over the woeful Chicago Bears. That puts the Vikings at 12-2. That puts them in charge of their own destiny with 3 games to play. Not going to be easy. At Seattle, home to Green Bay, at Detroit. But if the Vikings run the table, they will be the NFC's top seed. Holy smokes. The Sam Darnold-led Minnesota Vikings, a team that we were thinking, boy, 9-8 would be a miracle. 5-12 feels more appropriate. Now they're sitting on a 12-2 record, and last night's game, not just great to win on Monday Night Football when everybody's paying attention, because let's face it, nobody watched the Falcons-Raiders. A great night last night as they honored Randy Moss. It came out that Randy Moss has been battling cancer. He had a recent 6-day hospital stay with surgery. The team paid tribute to him. Justin Jefferson with the first touchdown of the game leaned right into the camera. That's for you, Randy. We love you. It was really nice to see all the love for the great Randy Moss. And I still remember talking to Robert Smith once, and I said, I'm just like, dude, what? Tell me about Moss. This is back when that first year on the team. And he said, rookie camp, Randy Moss went out, and after the first day of his first rookie camp, he said, veterans always haze the rookies. They have to carry your luggage. They have to bring your car around. Not hazing them in the way like in a bad 80s sports movie, but rookies have to do stuff for the veterans throughout camp. And Robert Smith said after the first day, nobody ever asked Randy Moss to do anything. He said they were too much in awe. They were like, he goes, this is the best athletes in the world. We'd never seen anybody like him. And nobody could bring themselves to say, hey, kid, go get my suitcase. It was more like, hey, nice catch, dude. And you just think about NFL veterans looking at a rookie and all just deciding, screw it.
Yeah.
No, they were thinking, hey, I might actually win a goddamn ring. Of course they didn't, but
right.
There was no one like him before.
No.
And think about that, because you say, well, Patrick Mahomes. Yep, there are plenty of Patrick Mahomes before Patrick Mahomes. Lots of great, fantastic quarterbacks. Adrian Peterson. Lots of Adrian Petersons before Adrian Peterson. But there was literally no wide receiver that could do what Randy Moss did. I don't know. I mean, there's some freaks out there now, some insane athletes. But at the time, there was only one Randy Moss. And whether you're on the team with him or not, you knew he was very special. And all the best, Randy. Quick recovery.
No doubt about it. An absolute one of one.
Get the KQ Morning Show podcast wherever you listen. 92 KQRS.